Hello, it's Ryan from 2minutetennis.net, and in this video, I'm going to give you 5 simple tips you can use to serve like the pros. All right, tip number 1, have your arms come up at a similar time, but still lead with the ball. You can see that he has both arms coming up, but he's leading with the ball. I see a lot of recreational amateur players, and they toss, and their racket is still super low. And that will force you to toss higher. It can kill the rhythm. It can make it harder to time the serve. So work on and film yourself. Make sure that you're doing this. Have your arms come up at a similar time, but still lead with the ball. When you lead slightly with the ball, it allows you to have good rhythm and timing, but also creates the environment for racket speed because you've got to swing fast enough to get to that ball in time before it drops too low. The second tip is have your strings at this point facing down. You don't want your racket behind you at this point is facing up. That's called the waiter's tray, where your palm faces up right away after going across your feet, and you won't be able to use the proper racket path. So film yourself. You can even just toss. Practice tossing the ball up in the air and have your racket anywhere from, let's say, belly button level to chest level. Anywhere in there is fine. And as long as the racket's in that area, you want your strings pointing down at that point. When your strings are facing down, it helps you to do tip number 3, which is knock the birthday hat off. If you've been watching any of my videos on any platform, you know I am a big fan of the birthday hat and that the racket should pass in over the head, knocking a birthday hat off. That gets you using the proper throwing motion on your serve. By the way, if you're loving these tips, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button, and be sure to send this video to a friend who needs help with their serve. Now, tip number 4, this is a bit controversial because I get people in the comment section arguing with me or telling me that, like, no, this is not what, the left arm tuck is for. You'll see him tuck his left arm in against his body, and his left arm almost looks like it's broken and it's in a sling against his chest. The purpose for this is to slow down the body's rotation so that his racket can accelerate. And a lot of people say, no, this is like figure skaters where they pull their arm in and it makes them spin faster. And it's like, no, that's not what's happening. And all we need to do is look at Federer in this video. Watch his chest. Look at the rate of rotation in his chest. And then look as he goes to hit the serve. Watch how his chest rotation slows down. There's not much rotation at this point right here as he's hitting, but there was a lot of rotation during the racket drop. So he's really rotating his body during the racket drop here. But then as he gets to contact, he's not rotating his body as much. Why? Because when he slows the body down, it creates a reactive brake that accelerates the racket. And the way you do that is to drop your tossing arm down in front of you, then tuck it in against the body. He drops it down in front of him, then he tucks it up in against his body. Watch Roddick, right? It's the exact same thing. They pull that tossing arm in against their body. That slows the body's rotation down and helps accelerate the racket. And last, and this is if you're right-handed, the direction I'm going to show you, but as a lefty, just do the opposite. Make sure that you are pronated after contact where your strings, if you're right-handed, are facing off to your right. Now, from the camera's vantage point here, we're looking at Federer, so it looks like it's off to the left. But from Federer's point of view, this is pointing off to the right. That is because he was on edge prior to hitting the ball with his strings facing off left, and then after hitting the ball, his strings facing off to the right. That helps accelerate the racket even more so he can hit spin, but also powerful speed. So if you work on these 5 tips on your serve, there is no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.